And now it's going to be a sack. Chris Jones smokes Phillip Rivers right back at the 40.
He's not banking on the skill that he's been blessed with.
He goes up the right seam. 25-20. Touchdown! Kareem Hunt! He's around staggering. Look at him go! Impossible! Touchdown, Kansas City! Carr's in trouble. He is going to be pulled down and sacked. Justin Houston.
It's another victory show on our Chiefs Rewind as the Chiefs get a hard-fought victory, 30-14 over Jacksonville. Again, this is a little bit like the Monday night win over Denver, because this was more about toughness, I think, than anything else. What about the grit that the Chiefs showed in this game?
I love it. If you love football, old school football, you knew it coming into this game that it was going to be physical, they were going to be talking. The Jags love to do all that stuff, and they did. And the Chiefs answered back every time, and you get fired up if you're a fan watching this game. Now, there's things they need to be smarter about, but Coach Reid just said in his post-game presser that you got to be smarter about those things. The 2 ejections, obviously, they don't want to see that, but nobody's going to come in here and push us around anywhere, and it's exactly what you want to see. You saw the physicality get matched by the Chiefs. They came out, and the fact that they put up 30 points against this Jags team and Patrick Mahomes didn't throw a touchdown pass tells you what you need to know about when the Chiefs defense needed to step up and make plays. They did. 5 turnovers, 12 quarterback hits, 5 sacks. They brought it to the Jags today.
Yeah, let's talk about the defense. We'll get to Patrick Mahomes and the offense in a second. But defensively, 3 of those picks were in the end zone. We're going to talk to Jordan Lucas, his first career NFL pick. Steven Nelson gets his first career NFL pick. It wasn't just takeaways, it's when they happen. And what about the opportunistic nature of this defense?
We talk about it all the time. Mitch and I, you talked about the 3 key stats. They're turnovers, third down, and red zone. And if you win 2 of those 3 statistical categories, the Chiefs have won 21, or the winner of those 3 categories, if you win 2 of 3, they've won 21 of the last 21 games. The Chiefs dominated the turnovers. They were very good inside the red zone, forcing the Jags to go 1 of 5 inside the red zone. And that's when you have to buckle up. That's when you have to make plays. You talk about those turnovers. They did that today, and the pressure. And you can't talk about getting up early, all those things, but the pressure on Blake Bortles mattered late in the game.
Chiefs even bailed out Mahomes. He threw his first interception of the season. The next play, sack strip by Ford, recovered by Breeland Speaks. But let's talk about Mahomes. Over 300 yards passing. First time in 21 games the Jaguars had allowed that. Plus, he targeted 10 different guys and hit 9 different players.
Yeah, when you knew coming into this game, the Jaguars' defense was #1 in the league, only allowing 164 yards passing per game. Just to give context of how good this pass defense has been, and Mahomes went out and had 176 yards passing in the first half. Finished, like you said, with over 300, had 313 yards passing. And I think it's a huge statement, not just to the guys inside the locker room, to us, to everybody around the NFL, that the Chiefs don't just win because Patrick Mahomes is out putting video game numbers like. When he had to make plays, he did. But this team still went out and beat one of the best teams in the AFC with their star quarterback, an MVP candidate, not throwing a touchdown pass.
I want to talk to you about your defense. We said last week how good they played in the first quarter, how they played good in the fourth quarter when they needed to. Today, they make a statement. They hold the Jaguars scoreless in the first half, something no one else has done since last year. So talk about your defensive play today.
I thought they played 4 quarters of good football. I mean, just solid. They had turnovers, been here, but we came back and made some great plays. And I was very, very impressed by Bob's game plan. I was very impressed by the execution. Short week now. So, you know, our team, they put it together on a short week, which is one of the tougher things to do. We're lucky we were home with our fans here. They were tremendous. Grounds crew was tremendous. That grass was spectacular. So, you know, we're lucky from that standpoint. But I was proud of those guys, the defense, to stand up and make a stand like that.
Last Monday night, it seemed like missed tackling was an issue. Tonight, completely the opposite. I felt like their tackling tonight was fundamental, sound, really solid all around.
Yeah, no, they did a nice job, and you know, when you have the rain that starts early and things are wet and those jerseys are on there tight and those things can be slippery as all get out, but they did well. They tackled this afternoon down the legs when they needed to. They tackled up high when they needed to, and they just made some real good decisions there.
Jordan Lucas comes in for Watts, who comes in for Murray. Played very well, had a pick at the end of the game there, and I thought played all around pretty good.
Yeah, he did. He didn't like that onside kickback, but other than that, he made some nice plays. So for him to step in there and do what he did has been great. Parker did a great job of coaching him up back there because he didn't get a ton of reps, and he's new here, and so that combination being thrown out there, we've had our safeties have taken a little beating here, and but the guys that have stepped in have done a nice job.
You know, I'm sure that Travis Kelce does good with this every week, but for some reason today, the run block seemed to stand out. It seemed like he was just extraordinarily powerful in the run block.
Yeah, he takes a lot of pride in that, and so he's worked hard to make sure that's a big part of his game. We ask him to do a lot. We keep him in there in 4-minute situations, ask him to get in there on a Calais Campbell, who's a huge human being and a really good football player, and we ask him to go one-on-one with him. So he's willing to do anything and everything. That's the part you love about him.
That is a happy head coach who is praising the groundskeeping after a win like this. But you know what? Important with the rain coming down, the Chiefs look more comfortable in my mind. And I think they look comfortable on defense despite losing some key guys, Justin Houston, D. Ford, Chris Jones. When you're in that situation, how well did they go ahead and adjust with the new guys who came in?
Oh, it was huge to see the young talent be able to step up. It's always about the next man up philosophy until it's about the next man up. But Chris Jones, I think, came out to play in this game. Constant pressure in the face of Blake Bortles, came up with some big plays, and then you just had the young talent back behind. And to me, this will prove dividends later in the season. To have the young talent be able to get this kind of experience against this type of team is immeasurable.
Yeah, Terrence Smith had a sack there. I mean, guys we have not talked much about all season. You have Lucas now at the pick. Everybody seemed to come up and make plays in this one. Xavier Williams, the hometown kid with the sack. D. Ford, though, to me remains the most impressive part of this defense as we look at a tale of two defenses, obviously. The first 4 games, a lot to criticize, if you will, but the red zone, really a big difference, Danon, wouldn't you say?
Oh, huge. Not only to be able to stop them from scoring points in the red zone, but be able to flip the field and get turnovers in the red zone was huge. The 3 of the interceptions on the 4 of the day for Bortles came by way of the red zone. So to me, that was huge. You add to the fact that they hadn't really been consistent enough getting to the quarterback. They got 4 sacks today as well. I thought the defense really stepped up. Who would have thought that we would be talking so much about the defense and not so much about Patrick Mahomes and his offense? I think this was probably the most complete game by both sides of the ball that we've seen all season long.
I was going to say, we have neglected our poor quarterback, haven't we? We'll get to Patrick more later on. Let's talk more defense coming up next. Steven Nelson one-on-one with the interception. That's next on Chiefs Rewind.
Blake Bortles, tight end, in motion. Niles Paul, former Husker. Back to throw, Bortles. And there he's going to be sacked from behind. They cannot block the Chiefs up front. Chris Jones gets this sack. That's his first of the season. Chiefs get the win 30-14. This defense continues its theme of they do it when it's the toughest. Let's start with your interception, one of 3 in the end zone in this game.
Right. Man, we came to play today. We got the turnovers that we needed for our offense, and those red zone turnovers are huge. Keep points out the board.
Coming to this game, you knew what the Jags are about. They're physical. They like to talk. They do all that stuff. To go out there and win the way that you did, do you feel like that's a statement to kind of show everybody else you can win in a lot of different ways? And when you guys had to step up and make plays, you did.
I mean, definitely, man. And most importantly, man, it's about us. It's about just playing Chiefs football, and we're very capable. We have everybody to win games, man. We just got to keep playing at a high level.
Now, I got to ask you, just your growth personally, but as you grow, this defense grows. How much have you grown since even the beginning of the season?
I've grown a lot, man. Just seeing our team mesh together. As you mentioned, we got a very new group. We've been together for quite some time now. OTAs, training camp now, and now this is the 5th game. So for me, it's a beautiful thing watching everybody build together.
You talk about new guys having to step in. You had some injuries. A guy like Jordan Lucas, who hadn't been here all along, has to step in and make plays. You talk about how important that is and the stuff that's gone in and all the time that he's put in that you guys see behind the scenes that allows him to go out there and make plays for you guys to trust him when he's called upon.
And that's just always been our motto, man. Next guy up. He's not a rookie, but we got this saying that if you're on the field, you're not a rookie. Same thing goes for new guys that have been in the league. You know, when you're out there on the field, you got to step up.
You're looking around like none of these guys are in St. Joe. You're like, wow, who are these guys?
Right.
But honestly, I want to ask you, though, just the mentality of the defense. You guys always stress taking it away. Let's be honest, only 2 takeaways in the first 4 games. How important was it to get 5 in this game?
Man, I think we were just past due, overdue for them. You never know. Turnovers are tricky, man. As you can see, mine was tipped, and it's just a reaction, man. And, they come in bunches, so, hopefully we keep it going.
I know it doesn't get any easier next week. You got the Jags. They played the AFC title game. You go up against the Patriots next week. It's how important it is for you guys to kind of turn the page on this big win and get prepared for that game because you got another big one coming up.
It's very important, man, and we're just going to prepare like we always do each and every week. Our coaches, they always put us in the best position to be successful, man, and that's what we're going to do.
Steven Nelson, pretty chill guy.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of a decent pick there. Well, I just went ahead and caught it. But you have more to say about it because it is our pivotal moment here, Dayton, and the timing of this pick really important, huh?
Oh, it was huge. I think when you have this team moving the ball down the field, they're getting in the red zone. It's a crucial factor and part of the game. And the fact that they were able to capitalize on a mistake. We had not seen that from this defense pretty much all season long. To be able to get that interception, the first of a few during the day, especially for Steve Nelson, the fact that he hadn't really had a great season thus far, had some issues. There's been some penalties thrown against his defensive backfield. But when their backs were against the wall, just like we've seen in previous games for this entire defense, they were able to make a play, just a different type of play with being able to flip the field and getting those turnovers.
Be honest, was this the best the pass rush has looked all year?
Absolutely. Absolutely the best pass rush, and I think it affected, obviously, Blake Bortles and this Jaguars offense, and it also helped the defensive backs. The defensive backs, although they gave up a lot of yardage, I think in the latter part of the game when the score was out of reach, 30-7, 23-0, the defense was in that bend but don't break. Keep the ball in front of them and then make the plays and make the tackle and keep the clock running. The fact that they were able to get constant pressure, force those errant throws is something we had not seen from this team all season long.
Blake Bortles looked like he was hurried all game, uncomfortable. It was like Plinko hitting all the guys making passes. Inside the locker room next here on Chiefs Rewind.
Here in the locker room, it was the most animated that I've seen this team all season, and it's probably because this was a physical, hard-fought win over a team that was in the AFC title game last year, a good barometer of where the Chiefs are in the conference. But coming into this game, the storyline was the Jacksonville Jaguars defense against the Chiefs offense. Instead, it turned out to be the Chiefs defense, their 5 takeaways and 4 interceptions.
Anytime you're playing against a good team, week in, week out, that's what you want to bring to the table. We preach every week just playing physical, especially starting up front. And I think our front 7 did a good job, and just everybody just competing and flying around.
The main thing was stopping the run. Once you stop the run and get them one-dimensional, and Blake Bortles steps up in the pocket, we got that deep edge rush with 50, 55, and 92. And so the main thing was we had to close that pocket, and we got that done. Man, forget the pick six. Let's talk about the juke. Okay. We didn't know he had that in him. He always talking about he played running back, quarterback in high school. But, hey, you're not going to be able to say no to him now because he showed his athletic ability right there. But that's the thing about 9-5, man. He come in there, he get game-changing plays, man. That's what you need out of a defensive lineman, and he does that every season.
Every week we just got to get better. I felt like the defense helped us out this week until we got kind of hot and started rolling. And it was good times for both of us. They had a great defense out there, great offense. We just managed it well together as a collective, and we played pretty good.
I think it has a lot to do with years past. Guys feeling sick of kind of the ups and downs, roller coasters, being able to take what happened last year and fix it. And sure enough, the finishing the games and finishing week in, week out, finishing the practices, overall, the finish mindset has been huge in terms of what Coach Reid has emphasized on this football team. And sure enough, during the fourth quarters, we just trying to amp it up one more notch.
I'm behind the camera there, and here I am here.
Multi-talented.
Just trying to do my part. Travis Kelce did say something that caught my interest, though. It kind of led into that answer, was that this 5-0 team as opposed to last year's 5-0 team. Not to dog on last year, but this has a different feeling. Does it look different to you?
Yes, it does. I think it's a different dynamic. Let's face it, the last 5-0 start outside of playing the New England Patriots on the first game of the season, the other teams weren't really top shelf. The Philadelphia Eagles were a part of that 5-game win, but then also at the same time, the Chiefs went on to lose 6 of their next 7 games. So I think the dynamic, if you look in retrospect, this team is definitely different because they seem to be imposing their force upon others. They seem to be on the attack, putting up multiple points, doing a nice job, scoring 30 points and plus a game. But that team last year was a little bit different. They always seemed to feel like they were squeaking into wins and kind of squeaking by.
You might say some lessons learned. And speaking of, if Mr. Jalen Ramsey happens to be watching this, the return specialist himself, Danon, I mean, we just wanted this all week and we got it.
Well, we talked about it, and I talked about it on the pregame show. There weren't going to be very many opportunities where Jalen Ramsey was going to be bump and run against Tyreek Hill. And I thought Tyreek actually let him off the hook there because he stepped out of bounds. He actually had some room to go down the sideline, maybe make a bigger play or get to the end zone. But obviously, I'm going to be one-sided. I think Tyreek Hill won this matchup because that one play was a big play down the sideline and bump and run, which is what we wanted to see all afternoon long.
And Tyreek makes the catch and immediately looks away. It's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I got my piece.
Drop the mic.
Coming up next, the guy I can't wait to hear from. Big pick in this game, Jordan Lucas. That's one-on-one next.
Bortles under pressure, he's hit, the ball's out, the Chiefs pounce on the ball at the 49-yard line. They get it right back. Breeland Speaks recovers the fumble for Kansas City.
It was late in training camp. In fact, the Chiefs had already broken camp in St. Joe. They pick up a safety by the name of Jordan Lucas. His first career interception today. Congratulations. And what about this game, man? It was a tough game.
It was a tough game, and, you know, we accepted the challenge all week. All you've been hearing about it, their defense and how good they are, and our offense. Everybody knows that our offense, we have a lot of firepower, and they've been putting up a lot of points. I think we're number 1 in points. And, you know, it was a challenge for us this week to go out there and just dominate, you know, however we can, just play with a lot of energy. And you know, that's what we did today.
I've been watching you on tape. Your special teams play has been outstanding, but now you had called upon on scrimmage downs. 2 safeties go out. You get called up. What about, hey, answering the call?
Man, you just got to be ready. And I'm a firm believer in, you know, everything happens for a reason. And when your number's called, you have to be prepared. You know, I've been doing a great job of, you know, trying to stay in my book, stay in the playbook, and I'm just thankful for the opportunity. That's all I can be.
Let's talk about the interception, a yard deep in the end zone. I thought you might have 101 pick 6 in you. I'm calling the play thinking your fellows at Penn State are going to go and take it all the way back. Tell us about the pick and the return.
Well, the pick, you know, the preparation, you know, knowing what you're getting and just going out there and executing. I saw it, I read the quarterback's eyes, and I was able to get there for the interception. And, you know, I just give all glory to God, man, because without him, none of this is possible. And once I got the ball in my hand, I felt like a little kid again. I felt like one of those little kids back at the park, you know, playing kill the carrier with your boys. Because if you notice, my teammates had a lot of good blocks. So, you know, I was just doing my best to try to get in the zone. Didn't happen, but the energy and the love was there. It was there.
Your first pick, and you were with the Dolphins before, now here. What are you going to do with the football?
Oh, I'm going to give it to my mom. This is the first NFL game she was able to make in my 3 years. And, you know, it's very special. So the ball is definitely going to her.
I'm melting over here, man.
Yeah.
How great is that?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mom coming out, Talked about his newborn baby on the way as well, so congrats, Jordan Lucas. Yeah. We've neglected Patrick Mahomes long enough. Let's talk about the quarterback. He leads off. Dana's chief observations.
Well, I think Patrick Mahomes, you're coming into this game, and the chief observations that I think first and foremost to me, it's about the supporting cast stepping up. 9 different receivers caught passes. We've seen a little bit of this all season long, but the fact that Patrick Mahomes was not at his best, but he was still able to incorporate a lot of different factors and a lot of different playmakers in the game, and they were able to capitalize on some of his dynamic throws.
One of these guys, one of his big targets, Travis Kelce. I mean, since that first half in Denver, what a run he's had since.
Absolutely. Travis Kelce is one of the best, if not the best, tight end in the game. He's a big-time playmaker. I think he loves playing with a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, who gets him the ball so quickly with a lot of velocity where he's able to get the ball and get upfield. He's one of the more dynamic guys with yards after catch. A big-time playmaker, an automatic mismatch, came up again with another big game, 20 yards per catch.
And defensively, look, bend don't break don't work without turnovers sometimes, and they got him today.
Yes, they did. 5 turnovers forced on the day. Most importantly to me, how they were able, when in the red zone with their backs against the wall, to step up and make play after play, dislodging the ball, but not allowing any easy scores for a Jaguars offense that, quite frankly, had been playing relatively solid all season long.
We did see a couple guys go out defensively, Danon. Chris Jones ejected D Ford with the taunting. What does Andy Reid tell guys in the locker room after this? Because they have the win. That's got them up.
Yeah.
How do you get them leveled out?
I think it's all about the next man up. I mean, as a player in the locker room, I remember receivers going down. Lake Dawson going down with an injury. Chris Penn, Willie Davis, those guys when I played. And then I got a spot start here and there as a 4th or 5th wide receiver. It's about the next man up. It's about seizing those opportunities. As a backup receiver or as a backup player in any part of the NFL, you believe that you're just as good as anybody that's on the field and any starter. You just need to have that opportunity. These young men stepped up with that opportunity right in front of them, made some big plays.
Coming up next, we go to the podium here on Chiefs Rewind.
Our defense was incredible. So 5 takeaways, played great. Bob's game plan was tremendous. The guys bought in on a short week now, so this is a tough thing to do, and going against a team that scored on everybody. And so they put it down, put the hammer down, and did a nice job with that. I mentioned before that about just playing together, and we didn't get a lot of that during camp where we were together as a group. And so much of defense, I mean, it's hustle and tough and all those things, but it's also communication. So you know that. So you better be able to, you better know what the other guy's doing. You better be able to change it like that if there's a shift or a motion that takes place. And so the more you play together, you expect that group to be better. So. We were able to get the lead, maintain the lead, add on to the lead. Chris had a nice interception there, which was tremendous. He even gave it a little move there. I capped it off with a bad thing, but he with getting thrown out of the game. But the initial part, that touchdown, let's not take it away from him. That's pretty good. That's a D lineman. So, but we were able to add to the lead, which became important.
I mean, it shows what kind of team we are at every phase of the game. I mean, we can win games with everybody on this team. It's not just the offense, it's not just the defense, it's not just the special teams. We're a unit, and we believe that. And I'm excited just to come out with a win like we did today, where the defense stepped up and made a ton of plays and gave us chances to make plays. I mean, last year we had a great team, and we won a lot of games. But this year we're going to try to just learn from last year, the little drought that we had, and just try to make it a process. I mean, the NFL seasons are long. There's going to be ups and there's going to be downs. But if you kind of just grind out every single day and try to get better every single day, you hope that you can limit the downs and maximize the ups.
We mentioned throughout the show how tough this game was. The Chiefs actually ran the ball for 4.2 a carry on Jacksonville. hard to do. But I want to ask you, this was a game of attrition. What about the injuries and then 2 Chiefs ejections?
Yeah, there were a lot of injuries. The reason that Jordan Lucas had to step up and make plays was great to see, but he was in there because guys kept getting hurt. Eric Murray got hurt. Armani Watts got hurt. Justin Houston left early with a hamstring injury. And then Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, late in this game, ended up getting injured and fractured his fibula. He's not going to miss the entire season, but Coach Reid did say he's going to be out a little while, so that's another thing you got to pay attention to when we go to that game next Sunday night against the New England Patriots.
The Chiefs set up this game, though, a long pass to Anthony Sherman, who's part of our live studio audience here. But now we will monitor throughout the week, just kind of as the smoke clears from this game, because you get a little extra time. It's Sunday Night Football against New England, but without Duvernay-Tardif, we always talk about next man up. But this offensive line has been playing so good. Now where do you go from here?
Yeah, coming in today, I don't think enough people are giving credit to what they've done. That Patrick Mahomes had been sacked only 5 times coming into this game, which was tied for the fewest in the league. We saw him get outside the pocket. He's been very, very good. One of the most underrated parts of his game was feeling pressure. We saw it last week against Denver, saw it again today. He knows when to leave the pocket and make plays outside the pocket, but it obviously is something you got to pay attention to. You talk about the next man up. The reason during training camp going back, you rotate so many guys in is because during the season, you're going to ask different guys to step in, step up, and make plays, and that's obviously going to be something that we monitor going into the game against the Patriots, because it doesn't get any easier, and that's a big one on national television on Sunday Night Football.
Bottom line is that within 6 days, the Chiefs had 2 intense, very difficult games against 2 tough opponents. They beat them both. Your Chiefs are 5-0 headed to New England. He's BJ Kissel. I'm Mitch Holtis. Enjoy the rest of your Chiefs Kingdom Victory Sunday.
Under pressure, Hunt left, and sprinting to the left side, reaches out, touchdown, Kansas City, Kareem Hunt. He wants Kareem Hunt, 35 to the 30, Hunt breaks a tackle, 15, 10, gets all the way to the end zone, 78 yards. You're gonna toss it right to Hunt, trying to get to the edge, 2-yard line, stretching out for the pylon, he's got a touchdown, Kansas City, 3rd touchdown of the night for the rookie Kareem Hunt.
Well, last year it was the Chiefs who really spoiled that big night for New England thanks to Kareem Hunt. Now the Patriots are going to try to spoil things for this 5-0 start with the Chiefs. We might see a big game from Kareem Hunt again, you might think. But looking at this matchup coming in, Danon, big one, Sunday night. What stands out the most to you?
I think what stands out the most is the different way that this Chiefs team has won. They've been able to obviously throw the ball in phenomenal fashion with Patrick Mahomes, but also start to get the running game going over these last couple of weeks, and Kareem Hunt. And you remember, last year, I bet that this Patriots team does remember, although they went on to do great things, they remember that taste in their mouth after winning a Super Bowl that the Chiefs came in and basically stomped them to death. And Kareem Hunt, you remember, fumbled on his first play and was able to bounce back and make a big play, and obviously those 3 touchdowns. So there's still going to be a little bit of ill will, especially with the Patriots, with a lot of people believing that they're of the best of the AFC, and the Chiefs having that 5-0 record.
So the Patriots, I mean, they haven't had the most lightning quick start like they have had in some past seasons. Yeah. Are they a different Patriots team, or have we still... Are we foolish to count out Tom Brady and Belichick right now?
Very foolish. Let's consider. They got back Julian Edelman after his 4-game suspension. Gronkowski is not the same Gronk, but he's still a devastating and probably the number 2 tight end in the NFL. So they are still the Patriots. Until week 16 or week 17 comes and we see something different, this is still Tom Brady. This is still one of the best teams in the AFC and still a Super Bowl contender.
Should be a lot of fun next Sunday night and a lot to enjoy until then as well. The Chiefs now 5-0. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Tom Martin. He's Danon Hughes. This has been Chiefs Rewind. Have a great night.
Chiefs Rewind is brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the Kansas City Chiefs, and Community America Credit Union, the official banking partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.